You are listening to the Savage FINcast, episode 54. Thanks, Obama.
Chicago. A criminal mastermind called Overlord held our city in his terrifying grip. Ordinary cops were losing the battle against Overlord's super freaks and mutants. Then, a miracle happened. When I found him, he had no memory of his past. I helped him find an identity and a life. Now we have a fighting chance. Now we have the dragon.
This is the Savage FINcast, the show that's snowed in on 2 continents. My name is Jim Purcell.
I'm Raven Perez.
I'm Zach Hawkins here again. Hi, guys.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
Zach.
Hey.
You told
Guess-
me earlier you were snowed in as well.
Yeah, it's on the road too.
My region of the U.S. got slammed with a snowstorm this morning, so I've got to go out and dig myself out of a foot and a half of snow at some point.
Ooh,
Yeah, we're not that bad.
it's not that bad here either, but we got hit. A foot and a half?
Oh, maybe it won't get quite that high, but the roads are rough, and I don't want to go out in there right now.
Makes sense.
Any excuse.
Yeah.
So it's great fincasting weather is what you're saying.
Yeah, I got nothing better to do.
Basically.
Shall we jump right in? We actually got some news for a change. It's crazy.
Woo!
Before
Yeah, more than we expected when we started putting the episode together.
Yeah, it's funny. I think our exact words were, there's nothing really to say.
There's nothing really to talk about. Hang on. There is, and there is, and there is, and yeah, there is.
It just kept piling up. I was like, good Lord. All right. Oh, that's good. We like it. I'll take the lead. Of course, first item on the agenda here is that we mentioned that it was coming. The Mighty Man one-shot that Nikos, the Savage Dragon colorist, and Eric worked on together prior to this was a Athens Comic-Con exclusive. It was black and white and only available at that convention. Of course, the only real news to pass along is that it is confirmed for April 5th. So be sure to tell your comic shop that's...
Shout out from the hilltops.
Yeah.
Woo!
And I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's Mighty Man. You know.
Well, I'm just excited because I haven't read it, but based on the preview images, I think all this training Super Patriot's putting her through is just so that she can babysit the dragon triplets.
Oh, all right.
That would be a good punchline.
You shall have relevance in the main title. You shall not be wasted.
Well, we've been dying for the supporting cast to step up and be more, active. So anyway, you bring Mighty Man back in any capacity, I'm fucking jazzed.
And it's not just Mighty Man. It's got Super Patriot and Barbaric and Ricochet.
Fantastic.
Main Man Super Patriot.
Can't wait.
And the next bit of news is something else coming out in April. It's the reprint of the Splitting Image parody comic that I believe came out back during the early days of Image Comics. It's 80 pages by Don Simpson. It will include the original Splitting Image story, as well as the Normal Man, Megaton Man special, also by Simpson, as additional content. Don Simpson's a funny guy.
Yeah, see, that's weird because I already own a Normal Man Megaton Man special. Well, I own it because it was reprinted in the complete Normal Man. So,
Right, that black and white book.
Yeah, I've already got that.
Yeah, me too. Although I have not read it all. Normal Man is unique.
It certainly is.
I don't know shit about it. I don't know.
Normal Man?
Yeah, tell me.
He's the only normal person on what was the planet called? It was called
I can't remember.
It's Valorium. It's Marvel backwards.
Oh,
yes.
right.
Oh, yes, it was.
So he's the only everyone
It's
else.
a funny little series.
Yeah, and he Captain Everything is Normal Man's quote unquote best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to be a normal man in a world where absolutely everybody is a superhero. It was I want to say it was Valentino's indie project before Image.
All right, cool.
It started at Aardvark Van Heim with Cerebus the Aardvark and Flaming Carrot, and then it moved over to Image.
Yeah, I think, that kind of what got him in the door at Marvel, and then, of course, that led to Image, and so he brought it along with him.
Do you guys know, is this splitting Image, I'd imagine that's in color. What about that backup? Is that in color?
I have no idea.
Okay. Just curious.
Could be whatever.
I'm pretty sure it's in black and white in the collection we have.
Okay.
It's like an archive book, like the Dragon Archives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although I want to say the early Normal Man stuff may have just been in black and white. It made it
First couple of issues definitely were.
Makes sense. Actually, best comparison for Normal Man is the Tick. It's
all right.
Yeah, basically.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, Flaming Carrot, the Tick, Mystery Man. That's that sort of humor.
Normal Man was definitely black and white every issue up to the Cerebus crossover, and then I think after that it went to color.
Gotcha.
It's interesting. I know that they were razzing it a little bit on the Facebook groups, the Dragon Facebook groups, but it's just kind of funny because I missed this splitting Image thing when it was originally printed. And so for me, it is kind of cool that it's being reprinted because I never got a chance to get it back in the day.
Ah, yes.
I think I was 2 years old, so...
I'm so...
And I hated Image at that time in my life. All those muscly men, I'd have to hide them from my parents.
Oh, Jim was a comic snob. Oh, no.
He was. I'm hearing it. Me and baby Zach, we just had to been disapproving. And who let this teenager have a baby? That's not okay. But I tell you one thing, we can both agree, your snobbery will not age well, mister. You'll be on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, I learned that mistake.
You're worse than Hitler.
There's at least one comic that was worth it at the time.
Oh, yeah, well, yes. Yeah. And it wasn't Spawn.
Oh, Lord.
Wet works.
Oh, yes. Anything with Warren Ellis's name on it.
Mm-hmm. So, I believe the next issue, the next article we have there, Zach, that's yours.
Shutter.
Oh, before that.
Oh, before Shutter. Oh, right, yeah, of course. So, for people who don't read Judge Dredd, the monthly publication Judge Dredd magazine recently published a story, Part 1, Judge Dredd Rubicon, which features a one-panel cameo from Dragon. And what's amazing about this cameo is it's in and amongst a group of mutants, which is, as Jim will attest, mutants are a thing in the Dredd universe. They've been around for forever.
So this guy's mutation is to look like Savage Dragon.
Basically.
From 200 years ago. Or
either that or it actually is Dragon.
Yeah.
There's been enough dimension jumping stuff going on for it to actually happen.
But cameos are always fun.
It's just a little in the background. Fun. Like, it's not like a speaking or...
Oh, it's a nothing.
Okay.
It's a nothing, but if it means anything, he's standing next to a guy who looks like Doubleheader, so...
Oh, yeah, I want to say the guy standing behind Dragon is familiar, but I can't even pretend.
I thought that as well. He's got kind of a cone head thing going on, hasn't he?
Yeah, that dot in his forehead seems really familiar for that design, but I think maybe I might be...
And then even then there's the blue guy in the front who looks kind of like, what's his name? With the bolts and everything, and the Union and...
yeah. The
Roughneck.
Roughneck.
He looks kind of like a Roughneck. Unfortunately,
I don't have the issue, so I can't see that character. I can only see the image that you cropped out on Facebook.
Yeah, but there's it's a one-panel cameo, but I think it's cute. I think it means that Wilshire is probably a Finn head in some way.
Yep, Wilshire's
fingers crossed.
Wilshire's a cool artist. He's a fairly regular Dredd artist.
Yes, he is.
He's done a few other things. He did a bunch of the recent movie Dredd had a bunch of comic spin-offs in the magazine.
Yes.
He drew a good chunk of those.
Those were spin-offs from the movie?
Yeah, from the movie Dredd universe. So in the book you would have the comic Dredd and you'd have the movie Dredd.
Yeah.
If you want more Dredd, there's more Dredd.
They share it's treated that way, like he's like from alternate dimension?
No. It's just a spin-off of the movie.
It's a spin-off of the movie.
See, okay. Raven may not understand what the Judge Dredd magazine is. The Judge Dredd magazine is an anthology book that has up to 4 different series running it at the same time,
Okay.
as well as text articles and stuff like Playboy.
All right. Now I get it.
Yes.
Okay, and
yeah,
so one
it's
of
exactly
them
like
was
that.
comic Judge Dredd, and one of them was movie Dredd,
Okay. Okay.
and then there were 2 others.
It's like how they did that comic of Batman 66,
Yes.
where it's like,
Kinda, yeah.
okay, I'm with you. We're on the same page.
So yeah, obviously this is main Dredd. This is not movie Dredd. This is
This
Dredd. This is the main Dredd continuity.
right. This
it-
image for Dragon.
But the thing is, if you'd taken the it's just clearly meant to be Dragon. It could easily have been any kind of fin-headed mutant, but it's the fact that it's so detailed, it can't be anyone but.
Unfortunately, got the fin wrong.
Oh, the
Did he?
cardinal sin.
It's not a 45-degree angle. It's slightly
Oh, for
up.
fuck's sake!
That's important.
Everyone messes it up, is why. It's
I mean,
the,
you get the segments wrong, but it's got to be a 45-degree angle from the forehead.
it's the running joke.
It's like a 3/4 length distant panel. How much detail do you want?
Remember, was Capullo? Capullo did the dragon, and they're like, the fin's wrong, but I don't
The
care.
fin's wrong. Starting a 25-year trend
Still looks good.
that's still going. Through the fin wrong. Wait till I talk about Shutter. People will be talking about the fin being wrong.
Well, the cover that Brandon Graham did had a pretty lacking fin.
Oh, that was wacky. Yeah, that Brandon.
But it's Brendan Graham. He's got his style, you know. You can't mess with that.
See, Dragon doesn't have a costume, so the only thing you can do to make sure it reads as Dragon is getting the fin right. That's like fundamental.
And it's funny that it throws people for a loop. It
does. It is so weird because it's correct in every drawing Eric has ever done. Just reference that.
Yeah, you would Google. It's your friend. When you're going to do that Savage Dragon picture, just Google it.
I've tried. It's a lot harder than it looks.
So
Getting the right angle, otherwise it just looks weird.
you sort
Yeah.
of softcore mentioned your other news article there. You have a report for us on
Yeah.
Dragon's cameo and Shudder as well.
Well, it's kind of an extended guest appearance. Issue number 25 of Shutter by Joe Keating features a appearance by Dragon alongside other Image staples like Spawn, Witchblade, Shadowhawk, Glory.
And Glory,
who, of
for
course,
some reason.
No, Glory makes sense because obviously Keating rebooted her.
Oh yeah,
There's your connection.
It does make sense.
Yep. There's your.
So, and then there's Invincible. It's like Glory's probably the best bit of this issue, to be honest, because she actually gets the most speaking roles. Dragon has one speech bubble? Just let me have a look. Yeah, he says one line of dialogue. Spawn doesn't say jack shit. Shadowhawk doesn't say jack shit. Witchblade doesn't say jack shit because no one cares. Poor Invincible doesn't say anything.
Oh.
So it's basically an extended cameo. It's a nice little kind of celebration of all the core Image universe characters.
So just for whatever reason, this main character can just like visit these
Jump
superhero
universes, yeah.
That's like fundamental to the series. You pick.
Basically, yeah. It's a kind of an Indigo Prime jump between universe kind of affair. It's Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh.
If you don't know what Indigo Prime is,
No, nobody knows what Indigo
nobody
Prime
knows
is.
what Indigo Prime is.
Everybody should know what Indigo Prime is. Such a good series. But Shutter seems to have kind of the same appeal. I can't say for certain because this is the only issue I've read, but it definitely makes me want to go back and read more. So, yeah, Dragon's cameo is kind of cute, though, but it's not essential. It is by no means essential. We're not talking about, like, when I was last on and we had his Spawn appearances. Those are essential. This isn't. But it's neat.
It's still cool. I like
It's hella cool.
anytime, and I think obviously Joe Jughead of Shakes Keating is a Savage Dragon fan. So
Obviously.
anytime that you can squeeze in, like, I'm down with that.
I think if Joe could have got his own way, he would have featured every Image universe character ever. But that's not going to happen. So
Still waiting. I'm still waiting for that book.
Yeah.
I'm holding out. I'm holding my
Savage Dragon meets Saga. It's going to happen someday.
wishing and hoping. Savage Dragon meets Paper Girls. Let's just.
You know, I think my biggest disappointment in Prophet was that Dragon didn't get a cameo somehow.
Yeah.
Because
Super Patriot
everyone
did, though.
else did.
It's
Super.
Well, Super Patriot makes sense, though.
Yeah. You know, Die Hard's the main character, and Bad Rock turns up, and
Is Prophet
little
done?
things. Oh, Supreme did too.
Well, Glory did as well.
Oh yes. I guess it's mostly live fielded characters, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense.
No love for Golden Age Shadowhawk,
Dragon
who
would be,
appeared in one issue of Big Bang, and that's it.
the Dragon would
So-
be dead by that time. Isn't it the far-flung future?
Oh, the very far future, where
And
everything,
yet,
where
and yet Vanguard is still alive for some reason.
Vanguard's still around? I gotta read
Quite possibly.
Prophet.
Vanguard turned up. I can't even remember that.
I believe there was a reference from what I remember.
Oh, okay. I'd believe that. Because all sorts of little stuff gets name dropped. Like the most obscure part of like Prophet's crazy.
Oh, it is crazy.
I never did finish reading it. I really got to finish it. I'm like 3 issues into Prophet War.
Yeah, I've got the first 2 trade paperbacks, so I've got to pick up the remaining 3. So it's actually a lot less than you think, really.
Yeah.
Only 5 trades. That's not much.
It's still real respectable for an Image title.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was the only one of the Liefeld reboots to survive this long.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Glory being the second longest, I want to say.
Yeah, Glory and
Yeah.
Supreme. And there was one, was it Bloodshot?
Youngblood lasted a while, from what I remember.
Oh, I thought that like failed.
Quite possibly. I know it's coming back soon, and it looks awesome. But other than that,
Well, that's because other people are doing it, I believe.
yes.
Yeah, the reboot.
Absolutely.
That reboot's coming out soon, but I feel like what you were talking about, Jim, possibly was that Bloodstrike.
Bloodstrike, that Robert Kirkman book.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't
I
think
think
that
that
didn't
might
go.
have been unrelated to the reboot.
Didn't that go like 1 issue? That didn't last long at all.
It went 2 or
That
3.
didn't last anything, from what I remember.
If I remember correctly, either Liefeld or Kirkman didn't like what was happening, and they had a falling out.
Yeah, shit happens.
Quite possible. You fall out with Robert Kirkman, you fall out with the entire company.
That's pretty much that for news.
That is it.
Yeah,
We had you did mention Savage Dragon 22 is going to have a black and white variant cover.
that's right. 222 will have a black and white variant. It's Malcolm holding a child in the middle of a burning building.
I kind of wonder
Burning
why.
Fields?
Burning-
Christ, that's dark. So, Savage Dragon, the Wicker Man issue.
It's just like it's a cool image just to see, just all the fire and flame and the wood all blaze around them. It's just it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool looking cover. If you get a
Yeah,
chance to look at it.
I'm kind of curious why this one's getting the black and white treatment. Maybe he just likes how it looks in black and white and wanted to put it out there.
So you can make out the Guy and Duda slippers.
Yeah. I like that
It's the only reason.
I like that Easter egg. I like that Guy and Duder have survived
Yeah.
the generation gap.
It's Beavis and Butthead of the Dragon universe.
Mm-hmm.
South Park has survived. Well,
Quite likely, yeah.
Simpsons. There's a couple of things that have survived multiple generations at this point.
How South Park has lasted this long, I have no idea.
It's weird when you think of how Savage Dragon is 1 year older than Street Fighter or
Oh, Jesus.
it's like you put these things up next to things that you just assume, it's like
Yeah.
Savage Dragon, and Street Fighter, yeah, they're as old as each other, it's just weird.
Well, Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Street Fighter's older.
Street Fighter
Guys.
itself is 30, isn't it?
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Guys, Savage Dragon's 2 years older than me. What? Dragon started in what was it? 93?
92.
Oh, 90. All right, so it's 3 years older than me.
You've never lived in a world without Savage Dragon.
Exactly. There we go.
And one last bit of cover news. God Country, an Image comic,
Oh yeah.
is We don't have what issue, but
It's the second issue.
Second issue. Image for the 25th anniversary of Image. A bunch of Image comics are homaging like Image founder covers, and God Country #2 will be homaging Savage Dragon miniseries #1.
Yep, and it's the classic Image, intense action, and it's just the guy with the sword charging. It's pretty cool.
Lawson provides.
All those Image homage covers turned out really good, especially Invincibles.
Oh, Invincibles one is awesome.
All that 90s coloring.
Oh, it looks so good. It looks like the fonts, just the fonts and stuff. I love it. God Country #1 I actually read. It's pretty interesting. The art's
it's about a guy with dementia.
Yeah, he's demented, but he's also the super powered guy. It's a normal world, and it's not like superheroes everywhere. Like, it's just like Earth, except there's just this old demented bastard who, when he touches a sword, he's a superhero. And it seems interesting. I can't say it's like, oh man, you gotta run out and get this right now, but I'll be there for book #2. Doesn't hurt that it's got a dragon homage cover. I like it. So, but
it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's cool. I think it's worth a pickup. I mean, we'll see. Time will tell if it's the whole series is amazing or whatever. But I liked the first issue anyway. So screw it.
Cool.
Might as well stick with it.
No word yet of whether or not Eric will be homaging an Image founder book. Actually, now that I think about it, is Spawn doing one?
I don't know.
No.
Because they're Image founders, they probably don't have to.
They probably don't feel that urge.
Like whippersnappers, we were there.
They should do homages to each other. Like
they should do homages to current comics.
Oh well, now that would be cool.
Do Saga #1 or Walking Dead #1 or. Actually, isn't someone else already doing Walking Dead?
Someone's doing Walking Dead.
So they aren't just homaging classic Image comics; they're homaging anything.
Yeah,
Saga #1 with Savage Dragon would work though.
It would.
With Malcolm as Marco and Maxine as it would just work.
The baby breastfeeding.
Yeah, it would work.
Yeah, that would actually be
3 babies.
That would be a perfect homage cover. The Maxine breastfeed cover. It's funny because it worked for Saga. I don't know that it would work for some reason. I don't know why, but I feel like people would be more like, "How dare you?
How dare!"
With Savage Dragon.
There was a lot of "How dare you" when that book came out too.
Did that offend?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes, it offended.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh my, it still does.
Remember, it came out around the same time Sex Criminals was coming out. There was like a big to-do about sex at that time.
Okay. There was actually sex and sex criminals simultaneously, wasn't there?
Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it?
That's not
just
gonna.
From the title alone.
Yeah. Yeah. People. Okay.
People.
Losers.
Fuck them.
Well,
Raven.
We got a new section.
Introduce it to our listeners.
2017, baby. It's a new year.
It's gonna be a better year.
We got new tricks. We got new bags and tricks and all kinds of cool new things. This is it. This is not to supplement, or it's not to replace FINteresting topics. We still would love very much to hear from you, dear listeners. And you ask us questions and we respond to it panel style. You win a prize to be announced. And, that's not going anywhere. That's still here. But we have a new thing we want to do in this year. We want to do FINteresting replies. And what I'm trying to do with that is we're trying to get you guys to respond and reply. Give us your responses, and we will talk about it here. We'll put, it's not going to be a win-lose thing. There's not going to be like prizes or anything. You'll just be
fight for my amusement.
Well, you'll just be part of the show.
Kneel before Larson.
You'll be part of the show, so we'll work you in there. But basically, we're going to ask you something, and then we would like very much for you to send us your responses, your replies, your thoughts, your reactions to the question. And Jim, I believe you're going to kick this section off with your question.
Yes. With all of these cameos and crossovers, it just got me thinking, What is your favorite Savage Dragon related crossover and why? And you can send all your replies to this question at savagefincast@gmail.com. And we'll, like Raven said, we'll read them off and we'll talk about it. Because we need topics to talk about.
And
Our lives are so boring.
I think it's fun, just a good chance. I know a lot of people with the FINteresting topics would feel shut down because like they would try like 2 or 3 times and their topic would never get chosen, and so they just quit. So this is a chance for you to just be a regular part of the conversation. You can just jump in there. Guaranteed, if a lot of people don't react, the odds of you getting read on the show are pretty damn good. So yeah, by all means, please reply to that. Also, please send us a FINteresting topic. We didn't get one this time. Of course, we would still love to hear from you guys. They're still going to do that every show where we will give you a prize. It's to be decided. I'm still working on it. It's going to be awesome. We'll make an announcement as soon as it's ready to announce, but the mystery prize is underway. But we just want to get your topics, and then we will reply to it roundtable. There is a winner. There is a prize. We're still doing FINteresting topics. Jim, I don't think we got one this episode, did we?
We did not.
Shame, dude.
Yeah.
No, really the shame of it is that see how easy it would have been to win. Like, no competition.
See, you played yourselves. Nobody wins. Well done.
You'd have had no competition. You could have asked the dumbest thing in the world, and it would have won. So you got to play to win, guys. Be sure to send us your topics at savagefincast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. We love to have those roundtable discussions about your suggestions. So shall we move along to the meat and potatoes?
The main issue?
Yeah.
Savage Dragon 220, the meat and potatoes. Man,
neat cover.
I like this issue, guys.
Early contender for cover of the year.
Absolutely. I know this would really do for you, Jim, because you're a big Angel fan.
I am. Of course, this cover confused me early on because that's Savage World Angel's costume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And haircut. But the issue explains it, so that's okay.
It was a fun little trick.
Also,
Indeedy.
she's not wearing underwear
here
or throughout.
Yeah, that's also kind of explained.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it, dude.
Glum, you creep.
So this issue opens up really interestingly because it's I want to use the word in media res because it's actually kind of unusual for Savage Dragon to like just cold open into like events that have already that have happened in the past, especially from where last issue ended with Glum getting away, and then apparently some time has passed.
Yep, we're back to the real time format where it was. What's funny is it was issue to issue for so long, and that actually.
Oh yes, there's been a time skip, obviously, to catch up.
Yeah. It was so funny though because like all last year, things were real issue to issue, which fucked up the whole real time thing, and that's why we had like 3 Christmases in 3 months.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then like here we are, we're back to the sort of, some time has passed. Here you are, like it's the new month, and some things have occurred while you were gone. So yeah, it is cool. It's weird. It was just it caught me off guard.
And obviously, we opened then up to a splash page of Angel.
Yeah, I love the detail here on like just anytime you get a shot of Crazy Space, like the Dimension X. That's always a winner with me.
Oh, it looks cool. Yeah, the whole Death Seed saga. It's funny because I'm up to Archive 7 now, but I've not read it yet, so no spoilers. But I think that's actually kind of a good point, actually, really, because I think coming up to the events of this issue, 220, and coming up to Archive 7, I think is kind of a good point, because it's the beginning of Dragon going to prison, and now Dragon's out of prison. So, I think that's a good balance. But, that's later in the issue anyway. But, Can I just say before we kind of get into the full issue, I bloody love the colours right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The colours are really nice.
I'm super into it right now. The texturing,
Mm-hmm.
the digital colors, I really dig it.
Specifically, like, the texture, like, just boom, headshot. Like on the grass, like where she wakes up in like that hay, and just like all the grass and the way that shit looks, and like just the texture on the bricks and things. It's good. It's real good.
This place is a wreck.
I second that.
Of course, this Glum World's gone through a lot between Glum himself and Dark Dragon and Toady.
Yeah, fuck's sake, Toady. You had one job.
Fucked it up. I do like this though. I like the cold intro where you just don't even know what the fuck's happening, and then you're brought into it the exact same place Angel is. Like Angel doesn't know what the fuck's happening.
She doesn't know. We don't know.
Yeah. So as she's discovering, why the hell her hair was cut, and stuff. We're discovering that too. So it's cool. It really worked for me. I was like, this is good. This is a clever trick. But
I will give him this. Glum is a damn good hairdresser.
Can you imagine? Like, it's funny because it's mentioned that it happened, but can you imagine it actually happening?
That is a perfect bob cut. That is beautiful.
Can you?
Well done.
Just the creepiness. And let's.
I mean, not only that, he dressed her.
Yes, how creepy! Like just the.
Glum is a bunny boy.
It's okay. He's seen her naked before.
That doesn't make it okay.
I said the cool thing about it, or not the cool thing, the funny thing. Or it's not even really funny. It's weird. Like Glum, don't you feel like this kind of like, I don't know why this is like a line cross. Isn't this like a little creepier?
No, Glum. Well, all right. Let's not forget he brainwashed Savage World Angel. Basically, at a young age
of 12,
raised her to become his sex object.
Oh yeah, geez, 25 years, man. It's easy to lose track, but yeah, you're right. He was always creepy. Okay.
Although I kind of like the idea that Glum doesn't care about sex and that she brought it up.
Yeah, basically. So it's her fault.
It's Stockholm syndrome, and now that his angel's dead, I think Glum's just gone crazy.
Yeah, well, see, that's what's kind of like
he's unhinged for real. Because here's the funny thing about Glum: he legitimately loved Angel.
Yeah,
that's fundamental to his character.
So it is a new wrinkle. I think the interesting dynamic there, and like I said, we get to see it play out in a creepy way because it's like. First thing he does with his freedom is like gas Angel and take her back to Dimension X and cut her hair
and dress her up as his angel.
Creepy.
Yep.
But we kind of dancing around like out of sequence here. But I gotta say, here, page 1, 2, 3, page 4. How about that? How about the long bomb dropped there?
Hold on, page 4.
It's the pardon, the presidential pardon.
Oh, so you are okay. I thought you were skipping ahead to more Angel. But yes, the thing with Dragon. Finally freed.
In the space of 4 panels.
The world conqueror pardoned.
So I thought
thanks, Obama.
I thought this was I'm telling you, is that not the name of this FINcast?
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama. Is that not that's the winner.
It's the only president we ever knew.
Thanks, Obama. That's it. That's the one. I'm telling you, as soon as I read that, I was just ear to ear. Like, that's hilarious. I don't know why it caught me off guard. Did you guys see it coming?
Honestly, no.
I didn't see it coming, but in hindsight, I probably should have done.
I should have seen.
There's only one logical part to it, and it gets dropped here, is that he murdered your ass in prison.
Doesn't matter.
I feel like that sort of overt murder would be enough to keep him behind bars and prevent him from getting a pardon.
It was during a prison riot.
Was it during a riot?
Yeah, your ass had manipulated the prison riot, and
so maybe your ass was proven to be a crook after the fact, and that put leniency on Dragon.
Probably.
Gee, what gave it away? Was it the giant Iranian robots? I don't know who got that idea.
Okay, I can see that now.
To me, that's what, because they kind of, like you said, like the staff doesn't like that guy's like, we don't care here. So that kind of tells you that like even the staff didn't really give a shit. So, if the people that he was in the care of were like, whatever, this guy really never belonged here.
Let bygones be bygones. It's cool.
Yeah, your ass was trying to lead that. It was an assassination attempt anyway, so you could kind of say that. And the funny thing is that I actually asked Eric. I was like, dude, did you do that because of the funny thing in Savage Dragon is it always reflects real world events.
Yeah.
And Obama was just on a crazy pardoning spree.
He was
like pardoning.
To be fair, a lot of presidents do that at the end of their term. They do that. It's pretty standard. So there's no political blowback because they've already used up they're not going to be president anymore.
Right. It was just so funny, the timing, because it was making headlines that he just pardoned 120 people in a day. It was like the most pardons in.
This is funny because without the internet, I would not have known this was a thing. That didn't get coverage over here at all.
Yeah, it wouldn't. It's more of a local thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because our president has the power to pardon. I'm not sure if anyone in your government has that.
The Queen technically does, but she doesn't anymore because
it's not like because she's got political clout. She can't just be pardoning people without.
No, she can't do that.
Wrecking the government.
It would cause infrastructure issues. She can't do it. Basically, it's not like a presidential thing. So yeah, it's a completely different system. I get that.
It's yeah.
It's funny because when I asked him though, I was like, "Is this something that you did because of current events?" He was like, no, this was the plan from the moment he went into prison. And
it just synced up perfectly.
I was like, what luck? I was just like, how lucky that this issue should drop in the exact same span of time as Obama leaving and doing all those presidential pardons. I was just like, man, that's just a master stroke of luck.
But this is the thing, because irregardless of whoever came in, it would have still played out this way. It just so happens that we've gone from, you guys at least have gone from one extreme to another.
Yeah.
It just has that extra, oomph to it.
Story point, from a storytelling standpoint, I really like it just as a bow on that whole Dragon Obama relationship thing where he endorsed him for president.
I just read that issue. Oh my god. I never thought I would see the day where Dragon shook Obama's hand.
It was so funny.
And it was amazing.
Yeah, because I remember some people were ragging on that. Oh, it's just politics in the book. And then of course, Spider-Man did it a week later to try and cash in on this, to cash in on the thing. And I was like, okay, guys. But it's funny because I think this presidential pardon really sort of it's not that stuff had no purpose or point. I mean, it's fine. Savage Dragon's always had real world shit in it, but it's just kind of a nice sort of ribbon on all that to get a presidential pardon from the guy that you endorsed. I don't know. I thought it was good. It worked for me.
Now, Dragon, don't go out there and fuck the world up again. You learned your lesson.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could?
Don't go reverting to Kerr now.
Don't go time traveling or conquering the planet or spitting.
Don't cross the streams.
Oh, and the gag with the giant shirt is funny too. It's just good. It's good to see the old man out. I knew that would make a lot of. I can't wait to get more see more reader reaction, but I know people been dying to see Dragon out of prison. So
yeah, now he can go on crazy adventures again and steal the show.
I think he's gonna be.
He doesn't kill himself first.
It's funny his place in the book now, because he's a supporting cast member now, and he's weak now. He can die.
And Malcolm's basically learned all the ropes without him. He doesn't really need a mentor character.
Yeah, not really a mentor, not really a need. So it's kind of interesting. Like, it's a really interesting dynamic. It's funny, we were talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure real quick before the beginning of the show, and that is a comic where the previous star of the book went on to be like a mentor for the new star, his son or whatever.
Oh yeah, that regularly happens.
Yeah, Athens Dragon is Joseph Joestar.
That's it. It's so funny. I can't think in American comics too much. I mean, you've got your Batman Beyond animated series, but like
that's about it.
Yeah. When you're talking about
there was elderly Captain America for a bit, but you know it's Marvel, so
yeah. Now he's Hydra.
Yeah, now he's a Nazi. So
he'll be a werewolf.
Don't talk about corporate comics with Raven. He cries a lot.
Triggered.
Oh my god.
Triggered.
So, where do you stand on Kamala Khan?
Good for them. Whatever.
Grr.
Seems like a cash in, but whatever. It's fine.
A cash in. That's like saying Miss Marvel has any cash to cash.
Cash in.
That is true.
No, it's good though. I like his role. I like the role switch. I like that he's free. I love this twist with Obama. When I read it, I just literally laughed out loud. I was like, okay,
it's true.
That's funny. That's a funny.
I can't say I saw it coming because basically ever since I jumped on with Dragon with not last year, the year before, Free Comic Book Day issue.
Mm-hmm.
So basically ever since then, obviously with the exception of the archives, I've been aware that Dragon is in prison.
So Dragon's been in prison the whole time for you.
The entire time I've been reading. So this is a big change up. And what's the first thing he does? Not much.
Just chill.
So switching
just
to
chills.
Angel's perspective, something that I am just picking up on. Do you guys notice that the panel layouts for Angel are significantly different than everything else?
Yes, and I'm glad you mentioned that. That is some a fun little detail. Fun
Pretty
little
much.
detail.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe that's a Dimension X thing, or if it's just him playing around with panel layouts and just deciding to do all the Angel stuff in the vertical style.
That's cool. I only just noticed that. Neat.
I think that it's got to definitely be intentional because, as you said, it is on.
No, it's a complete accident, Raven.
Well, you know.
Happenstance.
I'm just saying it's every single page. Every single page in Dimension X has that long format, like top to bottom panels. And, then whenever you're back on Earth, it's more left to right. So, yeah, that was a really nice touch. It's funny because, like, we talk about like the experimental nature or whatever, but I guess that was just a little artistic challenge just to see. And I don't know. I mean, for me, it worked. I didn't have a problem with any of those long, skinny panels.
I like it.
I like it a lot. I particularly like that one in the middle of page 7, I think it is, where it's like, obviously Angel looking into her reflection. Yeah, and it's slap bang in the middle of the page. I dig that.
That's a really good use of that. There's another sequence where it looks really cool. I know that you do digital, Jim. Zach, do you do digital or print?
I do digital for all this kind of stuff. I double dip for physical, so yeah.
Oh, nice. The double dip. I'm just saying whenever it's a 2-page spread, it looks particularly cool. There's a couple of double Dimension X double page spreads where you flip it and both pages are Dimension X pages. And it looks really cool in print to see just those long vertical panels from left to right. Like, it's got a cool look. Honestly, in 220 issues of this book, I don't think that I've seen it like that. So it's just kind of, it's neat that even after all that time, it can still be doing stuff that's like strikes you as visually new and interesting. Now, I wanted to say, the hilarious gag here is neighbor Craig.
Oh, yeah. It's unfortunate Craig's not here, that we can't make a whole thing about that, but it's not our Craig. It's a friend of Eric's Craig.
It's alt Craig.
I gotta say, though, it was kind of distracting because I recall last issue when we first met Craig. Was it last issue? I think it was last issue. Maybe it was the issue before. He didn't look as much like a photograph as this version. It
was less referenced, or if it even is a reference.
It looks like a reference, honestly.
It looks like a reference, but it was.
Because he looks so much different.
Yeah,
that
I'm flipping
standard
through.
Larson face.
I'm trying to see. It wasn't 219. I think we saw Craig in 218. Yeah.
I feel like it was just less obviously referenced.
I agree. It didn't. Of course, it didn't ruin the gag for me or anything. But yeah, it is funny the different. I noticed it instantly too. I was like, ooh, this is a different face for this.
Yeah,
guy.
that his face in like panel 4, 3 in the sequence.
Uh-huh.
It just stands out so oddly.
Well, like you said, it just has that. It just doesn't, have that typical Larson look. But no, it's fine.
But this is great. Poor Craig just absolutely getting destroyed by these kids.
I love that Amy has apparently just a mallet in her hand. Why does she have that
Well, no,
hammer?
That's a typical thing for babies to have. They pound the shapes into the holes.
Oh,
That's exactly what I said last time. Amy is the evil one. She is the evil one. She's preparing for it already. She's killing everyone. Murderer.
Craig has to show up with a cybernetic eye or something. Next time he has
A big Cerebro helmet.
a giant, I hope and I like how just the body language of him, struggling to have that big robot arm.
Why would they? Was it the only one in stock?
I love it, dude. The way it's clearly he's sort of dragging it. Look at him in panel 3, where he's all leaned low. It's good. This is good stuff. I could watch Craig get it's kind of like Belco Chemicals, Melvin Belco.
Right.
I could just watch Craig slowly get worse and worse forever.
I got to wonder if this Craig is named after B. Craig of the FINcast.
No, we talked with Eric about this, I think off the record. It's based on a friend of his from the early days of Image. It's
I see.
Probably still his friend, but I believe this Craig helped him design a handful of characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said the Shrew and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head.
I believe you're correct.
None of whom are still alive, so basically.
I don't think we've seen the Shrew since the new Image universe, have we?
Shrew's dead.
Yeah, Shrew.
Shrew died in 115, I think.
Is that new Image or old Image?
That's old. That's Savage World.
Savage World is new
Sure,
Image, right?
He died in that big assault on Skullface's Vicious Circle.
You know what's so funny? Someone just busted us for not knowing character deaths.
Yeah.
They said they said go to the wiki.
But I'm
Rogue Warrior isn't.
I'm 99% sure Savage World Shrew is dead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that as well.
Yeah, it's cool though. Just to it's funny that Craig, we were gonna bust Craig's chops. FINcast Craig, if he was here, but he dodged. He got lucky this time. You got lucky, Olsen. You dodged it. And bust your chops. I like the panel of Small Dragon hugging Malcolm. Just, where he's...
Oh, yeah, he's fucking tiny.
He's so little next to his son.
The shit I've seen.
Yeah, this is your future.
I think that's his... I don't think he lost any height. Maybe I'm wrong.
He was always short.
No, he probably hasn't lost height. He's probably just lost bulk.
Because I know Malcolm's taller than he is.
Yeah, he was always short. I think that's a recurring complaint Larson has when people draw a dragon. They draw him as really tall. But only the fin gives him height. He's actually 5'8" or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, he's not tall. So yeah, Malcolm is taller. It's just mass. That's funny. No, you're talking about Larson characters. Look at the protesters. That's
do I have to?
Do Trump supporters actually look like that?
Americans look like that.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, it's just America. You're on any random American street, you're gonna see that crack.
See the butt crack, yes.
See that butt
They look
crack?
like Brummies.
And the sideburns.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Just the monster, the guy yelling with his top row of teeth out, yeah, that's pretty common. As again, just a fun little bit of modern events, in Dragon. It's good stuff. Angel beating ass. I gotta say, while we're talking about art, like, I love all the, like, crazy cross-hatching and shit Larson's getting into in these last few issues. Like, you see it all over the Angel Dimension X pages, which is like this squiggly wiggly.
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty neat.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun stuff. It's good stuff. And then, in this fun, like, sort of, like, you know, Dragon getting to, like, meet Maxine in the apartment. And the kids. I don't think we've seen them together, have we?
No, I don't think they have. It's just the first time in continuity.
No, he took her to the prison.
Oh, the kids got taken to the.
Yeah, this is the first time they get to touch, though.
Oh, all right. See, Savage Dragon history, man.
Funny thing is, all three of these kids are probably stronger than he is by now.
Oh, very. he's barely stronger than Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now. Craig's had his head caved in.
By a mallet. Just, if you see Amy with her mallet, just, get the fuck out of the way.
I've said it, she's the evil one. Little bitch.
This double-page spread is one of the ones I was talking about, where, like, you flip the page and it's just, like, from left to right.
Yeah.
Just like vertical panels. Great stuff.
Yeah, I can get that if I flip it.
Good stuff. Just Angel fighting these off-panel attackers. Like these these like bomb, like bats, like shooting shit at her.
So, what page is this? The page just before the Glum splash page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 14. Is it 14 and 15?
15. Yeah. The fifth panel.
The beaver shot.
Get a little peek.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah.
It's funny.
But wasn't it funny? Because didn't Larson put something up on Facebook the other day about like the actual rating?
You could be doing a lot of
image books.
Yeah, Eric was saying that the book is officially rated mature as per Image's rating guide, which basically means that he can do whatever he wants. And he has chosen not to for a long time, more imply rather than show. And he was just asking if we as readers would care very much if he went the other way, stronger the other way.
I was gonna say, this is a perfect point to sound off on that. What do you guys? As Zach kind of said his bit, feel free to let it out. Say what you want to think.
I think you go first, Zach.
No, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with a creator doing whatever the heck they want. At the same time, I do feel like there's a time and a place within context of a scene for it to work. This isn't one of them.
I don't know. The context is that Glum's Angel didn't wear underwear. And so when he dressed her, she doesn't wear underwear. It makes sense contextually to me.
Okay, I get that.
Me?
Okay, yeah, it makes sense now.
It's kind of supposed to be awkward for her as well, because she's been stuffed in this costume.
Well, yeah, I gather that much.
For what Eric was asking, I personally kind of like it the way it is, where we get lots of, like, very, like, how do I phrase this? Very subtle things.
Mm-hmm.
Where actually it's not that subtle, honestly. I mean, he does toplessness, like, all the time, but he always, they're always, like, turned or covered.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets the humor of the toplessness without the full toplessness, I guess is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of find it funnier that way than just, throwing it all out there.
So you prefer just implicit to explicit?
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
would it ruin the book for you? I mean, wouldn't set you off if the tone...
Oh God, I read a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, that's I guess that was the thing he was saying in his post, and it's the thing I've always, sort of just been like, guys, this is just the modern world we live in.
How many dongs do we see in 2000 AD on a regular basis, Zach? At least 4 a year.
Yeah, whenever Slane's in, usually. Dongs everywhere. That is true.
Did you guys read Orc Stain, also published by Image?
I never read all of it.
Dicks on every
I read
page.
it.
Dicks on every page.
But that was Stokoi, though, and Stokoi puts that kind of stuff in everything, except for his Godzilla stuff.
It's funny, though. I think it is kind of is funny, the point. Like, Savage Dragon has always been, danced around that. And, we just, you don't have to dance around it. Not if you don't want to. I mean, to me, it's like if the creator's like, this dancing around this shit feels stupid at this point. Go for it. Don't do it. If you think it's dumb, like if you're just putting the hilariously positioned, nipple blocking item in place just because you feel you have to, but you think it's dumb, don't do it. To me, just fucking let them out. Show it. I got a friend.
Hashtag free the nipple.
Hashtag let it out. Hashtag free the nipple. I got a friend, his comic, every character in it is topless, like male, female, everybody's just topless. And it's because they're like monster characters. And, when he started, he got a lot of blowback. People were like, tits for clicks is a thing you hear as a creator all the time on the internet. And a lot of people were like, oh, it's exploitation. You're just trying to cash in. But like, I know this guy. This legitimately was not his attempt. It's funny. He actually like considers himself to be very feminist. He's very proud of a huge female reader base. They fucking love his characters and love his comic. So, no, he's not really. In fact, he really is super careful never to put his characters in exploitive positions. And the funny thing is, he's been doing his comic for about 9 years now, 9 or 10. And it just, people quit paying attention to it eventually.
Right.
And so that's kind of how it feels like when you guys see like a boob, like, in Savage Dragon, it's not the end of the world. Cause
it's not even exciting anymore.
Yeah, you've seen it. I mean, you've seen it. We've seen nipples in Savage Dragon. It's not a big deal. The only thing you haven't really seen in Savage Dragon are donks. And you haven't seen full penetration, and that's really it, right?
It's
that's
kind of too much even for the book.
Giving it Alex Doggy style was pretty close.
I mean, that's what I'm saying is how close. Like that panel of him pounding her doggy style, it was like, well, basically.
Too much.
Do you think? Like to me, it was like, I mean, we've basically seen it now. I mean, like, you don't need to. I don't think anybody should be.
Unsee.
I don't think people should be too upset about it. Like, to me, this book has always been adult. And so,
right. Yeah.
It's kind of like, you see Angel's vagina in this one panel. It's like, oh, well, it's fine.
It is kind of tame in comparison.
It is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, and even in the spinoffs, like, Horridus tried to give, like, Michelangelo a blowjob or something.
I remember that one. Yeah, that was,
So it's kind of like, it's one of those things where it's just like, I mean, this book, it is the book you're reading, you know what I mean? It's not like if you were reading Invincible. It's funny, because it would actually seem really out of place in Invincible, wouldn't it? If there was if you flip the page and Invincible was giving it to...
I can believe that.
If he was giving it to, like, Adam Eve doggy style, you'd be like, whoa, fuck.
It's too much. It would be too much for that in context. Mark
did get raped.
He did.
Oh God, yeah, that was an issue that happened. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. It's one of those things. I don't think that this book can't have that stuff. So, although I will be interested, I know that like a lot of the readers, there were a lot of people that were like, time and a place, like that was the stance. And you think back to the foursome, like Zach, were you on board during the foursome, like Malcolm's foursome?
I caught up on that issue, yeah.
A lot of people didn't like that.
Yeah, from what I read, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people thought it was 2 hour left field or too much.
A lot of people were like, oh, what is this? This is my favorite comic is smut now. And it's like, I mean, we see where it went. There's 3 babies in the book now. People had sex and babies happened. I mean, to me, it's just like...
I mean, the issue ends on sex.
Yeah, so it's kind of like... At this point, we've seen Maxine basically. I mean, basically.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's me. That's my take on it.
So what this whole issue seems to be leading up to is Glum wants Angel to stay with him, because he's desperate.
Dimension X, yeah, but it's not going to happen.
What? And that ain't gonna happen, because Angel, hates him for being a monster.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's this whole Angel's mother is still alive thing, which is we saw back in, I think it was when Rex killed Alternate Angel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's when that was revealed. That Dark Lord apparently stashed the original Jennifer away in Dimension X for quote-unquote reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And Glum found her. And so now, of course, she has disappeared.
Took off when Toady blew the popsicle stand.
Yeah. And apparently this gives Angel a reason to stick around. My only real problem with this is she doesn't really have any real evidence that Glum isn't lying to her.
Oh, I get that. Yeah. It is just the word of a liar, after all.
Mm-hmm. Basically, yeah.
Maybe she's just that desperate for her mom to be a thing?
Also, he promises that he's going to restore the original universe. That seems a little improbable.
Unlikely.
He's got to go collect those Dragon Balls.
Wait a minute.
Universo was a thing that happened, so you can't really avoid that.
The Earth is gone, baby.
Restore your world once more. Give you back the life you once had. I don't think you're meant to interpret that literally.
Am I?
I don't think so. We've never seen him display that level of power. I don't think you're
God gun?
I don't think you're... Well... I guess we've never seen the God gun do anything that magnificent. Like, if you were, like, to shoot the God gun and be like, bring back an entire dimension, like, that's more powerful than we've seen it yet. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't think... I'm with you 100% that she really doesn't have a super good reason to... but I don't think... to stick around, but I don't think that... he can't mean what he literally... Oh, maybe he does. Shit, I don't know. Do you think that's what he means?
I kind of think that's what he thinks he means. I think he's being honest with her, because that seems like the crazy thing that he'd do in this situation.
Restore
Well,
your...
Glum's super delusional, so...
Right. He thinks he's all-powerful. Or that he should be.
It's funny because I didn't interpret that line that way at all, but that would mean that he has some even crazier thing than we've ever seen in the book before. Like, fucking Deus Ex Machina, like, up his sleeves.
I mean, there are
Which would be awful, but I don't see it happening.
There are alternate universes, and presumably maybe more God guns.
That would be the craziest twist that this shit could take. Like, you talk about not seeing some stuff. I would have never imagined that. You're blowing my mind. Well, that's... Yeah, if that goes that direction, that is crazy as shit.
Well, I don't think it'll go that direction. Eric's probably more creative than that. But
he wouldn't lie on a crux like that. It would too much.
Huh. Well, you got me thinking now, though. Like, all you'd have to do is just make it plausible. That would be bananas if Original Image Universe somehow came back. Like, all the implications.
For the big 25th anniversary, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Well, think about, like, I don't know. That kind of blows my mind. That's nuts. Good for you. That's a crazy interpretation of that. I went to the...
Wait a minute. I just thought of something stupid.
Uh-oh.
When Universal destroyed the Earth, Sergeant Marvel would have also died on the planet, but that doesn't mean the God Gun was destroyed at the same time. So that maybe there's still a God Gun floating out there in the wreckage of the planet.
Good point. Huh.
Although Dragon did kind of break it pretty easily, so maybe a planet blowing up is enough to destroy it.
Oh, well, yeah, you gotta assume. Yeah, Well, like you said, the other way more believable thing is that he just went to another dimension and got another god gun.
Or just went to a very similar dimension and just killed everybody, all the duplicates.
Remember when they went into when the wanted characters crossed over?
Yeah.
And they even had the killer say...
Just because.
Well, they even had the killer say, don't worry about it. There's plenty of god guns in other dimensions.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking about.
That's
is
nuts.
that exact moment.
That's nuts. That would be crazy. You're blowing my mind.
We can finally learn more about these fucking god weapons and what they actually mean.
The god weapons have been lurking around without explanation forever. Forever.
Kind of curious if they're related to the gods we know, or like the actual god we've met, or
cliche god that showed up was a hallucination. Isn't that the official story now?
I think that's what Dragon tells himself at night, so he doesn't go insane.
I've always felt like he was real. That's kind of what it felt like when you were reading it, but
the thing is, if you've got to accept that Spawn exists, you've got to accept that Satan exists. If Satan exists, and God exists. So,
you know, anything can happen.
I know Dragon believes it was a hallucination.
That's the way I always interpret it. Like, when they're like, oh, that was a hallucination, I just feel like he was like, that's what he tells himself.
Yeah.
It would be funny if the God Gun and God Sword and stuff were like property of cliche God. Like, don't
and
fuck
the
with
God Boomerang.
Yeah, and the God Boomerang.
That never returns.
Never returns. Shoutouts. Hashtag Simon. So this is good. I love this ending. We naturally sort of just wandered there to this way. But again, we have mostly naked Maxine putting out the hilarious notion that she's going to bone Old Man Dragon. And then, of course, the best panel. Dragon.
The saddest Savage Dragon. So alone.
The saddest dragon.
Got the Mighty Man face on, so...
Saddest Dragon. You know what? If it's not Thanks Obama, Saddest Dragon is a good contender for FINcast title.
Just call Lorella. What the hell are you doing?
Lorella. I wasn't even thinking about her. You know what? I'm sorry, guys. Let's play.
She's probably busy with her work.
Let's play guesswork here. So now you're Dragon. You're just sitting around in your apartment alone.
I've got no one to have sex with.
There's angel potential.
Is it his apartment? I kind of interpreted it as he was in another room.
I feel like he's in his own place. Because aren't Maxine and Malcolm kind of on like a high story of a building?
Yeah, okay. Oh, right, and he's at ground level.
He's at ground level in this picture.
Because second floor at least, but yeah.
Yeah, treetops. So
yeah.
I feel like he's in his own place, but it's funny because just seeing Dragon there, you do have to think it's like, okay, well, you got Jennifer running around.
Well, she's in Dimension X.
Oh, but come on.
You think she's escaped back to Earth?
I wouldn't say escape back to Earth, but I mean the odds of her staying there forever and not ever making it. Come on.
That'll be the next issue revelation.
I'm sure. I'm just saying. I'm sure. You got Jennifer. You got Alex. You got Lorella. I didn't even think about Lorella as a potential.
Oh, Alex is gone. She's married to Chris.
Gavin said that he doesn't think they're married.
Oh.
Gavin said he doesn't think the marriage...
Also, she never saw him again.
She didn't even come to prison, did she?
I don't know.
Oh, that's a deal breaker.
I doubt it.
That's a deal breaker.
I was really surprised that she showed up for the wedding, because I always assumed that she was gone from the book. But, yeah, I guess that's not the case.
I'm just saying, if I'm a dragon and I've been locked up with no conjugal visits, that's probably the first thing on my mind.
Truth.
I think he's just kind of lost. At least when he was in prison, he was in prison. So not having powers wasn't a big deal. So literally, what is his role? He's probably having this one panel is probably him having a massive existential crisis.
Yeah. Well, I think it's meant to convey that, right? Like what I said, when you look at this panel, don't you just hear like sound of silence? You know, just that moment where it's like, what now? What even am I?
World Tour 2, The Hunt for Angel.
It's good. The book is in a good place. I really like where this issue left the book. I think Dragon being back is just super interesting.
Maybe he'll become a cop again. Just a totally regular cop.
More beat level cop. Because he can still kick ass. You saw him kick the ass of everyone in that bar.
He'd be a good street level liaison with the freak population.
He's still not a wimp. Like, didn't Eric say he's like Captain America level?
Yeah.
So he's no wimp or anything. So he could still be out there kicking ass.
Of course, everyone with a chip on their shoulder will probably want a piece of him now.
Yeah, you gotta think he's gonna have a bullseye on his head.
First page of the next issue is his apartment blowing up.
Oh, it's good. I'm interested. I'm excited. I like it. I like where it's going. So
it does raise the question of Dragon's vulnerability, though.
Yeah.
If he's back on the streets and he's obviously not got powers or anything like that, how easy is it going to be that he's going to get killed off?
Can't really hide, So, yeah, it's interesting. Technically, I guess, he should live with, Malcolm or close so he can be protected,
Well, he's... Maxine's saying that he's going to play babysitter a bit, maybe.
The babies. Use the babies as protection.
Yeah, that's it.
When someone comes at you, just, hurl Amy at them.
Just throw them at them. Attack.
Just Amy rips their arms off. It's good.
I told you that baby's fucking evil.
Well, I suppose that's it. The backup supplemental material for this issue is The Night Watchman. And for me, we sort of beat up on Night Watchman for its shorter stuff. But in this long format where you get multiple pages of it, I'm super alright with this. I like it.
I'm kind of indifferent. I don't really have an opinion on tribute to Golden Age stuff. It's just kind of, it is what it is.
How'd it grab you, Jim?
Yeah, as a throwback, it's as throwback as you can throw back. But at the same time, how do I phrase this? It's a little bit too much of a throwback. There's not enough self-awareness to it, I feel.
You don't think? When the guy opens the envelope and gas comes out of it, that to me, this almost reads as comedy.
Yeah. But that's it reads like if you're reading a Golden Age comic as comedy.
Well, that's how I read it, though. And to me, it was just kind of funny the way it was. I don't know. That's how I read it anyway, as comedy. Like the guy jumping out of the window with the feather thinking he could fly? I mean, I'm sorry.
That's the kind of thing that happens in the Silver Age all the time. The Golden Age.
Well, to me, I don't know. I thought it was funny. Like I said, I'm okay with it. Obviously, we always go back and forth on whether or not we want to see, more Savage Dragon related backups or just random shit. But I'm okay with this. I liked it.
It's good. It's put together. It's definitely doing what it sets out to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't click with me.
No, it's not. It's not for me either.
Well, you elitist snobs.
Sorry.
Too good.
Sorry.
Nothing's good enough for you guys.
I know Carlson is a very, very talented writer, but this just isn't for me.
Bigots. It's got to be fueled by some sort of racism. It's irrational, this hatred.
Racism towards 1940s comics. Okay.
That's it. Just can't stand to see those old colors. I don't like it. Well.
No, sir. I don't like it.
No, well, I guess there's only one thing left to do. Savage Dragon 221 solicitation.
Oh, indeed.
Here we are. Malcolm Dragon is tasked with closing down Belco Labs' Freak Factory. And that's it. That's what you have. Savage Dragon 221 has a surprise cover that we have still not seen yet.
That's true, we haven't.
So
It could be anything.
my guess is that Old Man Dragon's going to be on the cover, and that's why it wasn't revealed, but who knows?
That would make sense. If that's the case, I would expect to see it in a couple of days.
Yeah, good point. Now that 220 is out, there's no real reason to keep the cat in the bag.
Maybe it'll be the same cover, but with Average Dragon.
I like Saddest Dragon.
Saddest Dragon.
Saddest Dragon right on the cover. Well,
The least savage dragon.
oh my goodness. No, good stuff. Good stuff. That's pretty much that. Are you feeling like doing some every now and then, Jim? You know, we do these post FINcast just shooting sessions. Do you want to do one of those, or do you want to wrap it up?
Zach, what's your time like?
I could probably do another half an hour.
Okay. Rock and roll.
All right.
Awesome possum. Totally tubular.
Well then, I know that's you.
90s call. They want their tunes back.
Go ahead and bring it on in, Jim, and introduce that then.
Introduce what?
Just the shit shooting session.
The shit shooting session? I think you did.
Oh, did we? Are we
I think we're in it.
We're in it?
We're 2 minutes in. Jeez.
So what are you cats reading? What's new in your world? Every now and then, FINcast listeners, we like to do this. We don't do it a ton, really. But every now and then, we just like to play catch up and talk about, like, you know, other comics that we're reading, things that are in pop culture that are on our minds, whatever. So that you can connect with the hosts, us, just a tiny little bit better. So, fellas, without further ado, what's on your mind? What are you reading? What are you looking at? What's in your headspace?
Currently keeping up with Dragon Ball Super.
Oh yeah, that's
Jeez.
the new anime.
Yeah, it's about 77 episodes at this point.
It's been going for a while. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like this is the second year of it. Yeah, I know, right? It's fine.
Uh-huh.
I watch it every week. It's not great, but it's just stupid enough to be entertaining. I didn't start watching it until the second arc was finished because the first two arcs, all they did was recap the two movies that came out, Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, which I'd already seen and enjoyed in movie form. Watching them in stretched out TV form with questionable animation wasn't really worth my time.
Yeah, thanks, Toei.
Yeah. Third arc was the first new arc, which was a tournament arc, unfortunately, where basically the Z Fighters fought another universe's, basically a bunch of alternate reality type of characters. So you had quote-unquote good guy Frieza, and you had a Saiyan who I guess they're slightly more peaceful than the Saiyans we knew. His name's what was his name? His name was Kaba. Yeah.
Like Kaba corn?
Yeah, I think that's his translated name is corn. Because all Saiyans are named after vegetables.
I was just making a dumb joke. That's hilarious.
No, that's basically how it works.
Well, just remember, your two main characters of Dragon Ball are named Carrot and Vegetable.
Yep, Vegetable and Radish.
Well, no, Raditz was Radish.
Right.
Raditz. And Nappa is lettuce. And I can't remember what Bardock is.
Broccoli.
No, that's Broly. Broly's broccoli.
Are you serious?
Oh, I'm serious.
Oh yeah, this is why Dragon Ball fans are the worst.
Toriyama loves his linked pun names.
Uh-huh.
Bulma is a form of underwear.
Right.
Her father's name is Briefs.
Oh, okay. All right.
Her daughter's name is Bra. Trunks, that's another name for pants.
Sure.
They're all pants names.
Where does Jayco fall into this?
What?
Where does Jayco fall into this?
I don't know if his name's a pun or not. It probably is. But Jocko's friend is named Tights, and she's Bulma's sister.
Of course, yes.
Makes sense. It's kind of like how Stan Lee used alliteration to keep like the name straight in his head.
Yeah.
Must just be a thing. A creator's shortcut.
Right. So the first tournament arc was better animated, mostly, and entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Introduced a bunch of interesting new characters. A good new original character is named Hit, who is he's a hitman, but he's got really cool time stop powers. He's coming back in the next arc. But after the tournament arc, the Otherworld tournament arc was the Goku Black arc, which was the first like major arc. It brought Future Trunks back, and it brought Future Trunks back because a new villain had turned up in his future, because he's actually in an alternate future, not the future.
Right.
So that wasn't handled very well in your fighting anime cartoon show.
Right.
Time travel, the rules of time travel,
dang it.
not well handled, if you can believe it.
yeah. What a surprise that turned out to be confusing.
But the villain of the arc was Goku, who had gone evil. Except it wasn't really Goku. It was one of the Kais had taken over his body.
Okay.
And basically he had destroyed the world, mostly. And so Future Trunks and Future Mai, if you remember, Mai is one of Emperor Pilaf's minions.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, she and him have a relationship, and so they work together to go back to the past and get help from Goku and Vegeta in the gang.
Okay.
So that arc overall was fairly good. It had kind of a questionable ending. I liked it. A lot of people thought it was a little bit too much literal Deus Ex Machina.
Oh, okay.
It literally involved a god.
A literal machine of a god.
Yeah. And so after that arc, it went into a bunch of standalone, well, two-parters that a lot of people kept crying about because, all this filler. Except a TV show that doesn't have a manga to adapt can't have filler.
That.
Yeah.
It's not filler.
It's not filler. It's just episodes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's finally going into its next major arc with the next episode, which is the second Other Worlds tournament, where instead of only two universes, it's all 12, I want to say. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of references to stuff in the alternate reality characters, including Broly.
Okay.
Wasn't there a whole episode that was just a crossover with Dr. Slump?
Yes, there was a two-parter. Well, no, it was a one-parter with Dr. Slump. I didn't like that episode very much. Not as much as I thought I would. I thought it was more stupid than funny.
Well, that's Dr. Slump's kind of stupid, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of the gag? Like, it's dumb, it's poop humor and stuff?
The best part, of course, is, it's literally poop humor.
Yeah.
There was literally poop humor in that episode.
Yeah, that's it.
But
full Toriko.
Toriko. I love Toriko.
I miss Toriko.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's a massive void that is yet to be filled.
So it's over, or it got canceled?
Oh, it ended. Yeah, it ended a few months ago.
Great. I love that things are ending, and it makes it easier for me to get caught up on.
Yeah, it was a very finite ending. There's probably no chance of a sequel.
What, Toriko?
Yeah.
No, see, but I thought the way it ended, it left it wide open for a sequel.
But it's whether there's the interest for one.
There isn't.
Yeah.
Although apparently the creator is starting a new series, but not in Jump.
No, he's doing something completely different elsewhere.
Oh,
that's
good for him.
I mean, good for him, but it's unfortunate for us.
Yeah.
Although these days that stuff makes it over anyway.
It's certainly not like Kubo when he ended Bleach, where he was desperately like, I have to have a spin-off series. It's not going to happen.
So Bleach had a spin-off series when it ended?
He tried to set one up. It's not caught on yet.
If the last chapter was anything to go by, it would have just been more Boruto.
Bleach fans are the most.
All the Borutos.
Bleach fans are the most like bitter. Like everybody that still reads Bleach is also like, I love Bleach, but I hate Bleach.
Yeah, that was me.
I started reading Bleach in the beginning, just before the beginning of the last arc.
Mm-hmm.
I had a love-hate relationship with it, even me. I thought it was wonderfully drawn, and I thought the fight scenes were wonderfully choreographed, and all the characters were crazy fucking crazy, but the plot was horrible.
Yes.
Non-existent.
Well, that video you forwarded me, Jim, is perfect example, because there's a video on YouTube which explains exactly the point in which the series the series dropped off. And that is the fact that the main character, after a certain point, had absolutely fucking nothing to do.
Yeah, apparently the way it worked was after the first arc showed that sales rise. Everyone was really into it, all right? And all the characters had something to do. But then the second arc, it got that bump because it was new. But as it went on, people began to realize that the main characters didn't have anything to do. And so that arc ended, and then the next arc started, and a similar thing happened. And so basically, you get this graph of like interest where the popularity votes, I think, is what they were tracking.
Mm-hmm.
And every time the new arc started, it'd get a little bump, but each little bump was less than the last. And so you've got this like 4 hills going downhill the whole time. And because by the end of each arc, everyone was sick of it.
I actually dropped off of Bleach right after the very first arc.
That's probably the best place to stop.
That was definitely the best place to stop.
It was funny because when it was done, everybody's like, oh my God, it was so good. And I was like, my thing is this. Yes, I enjoyed every bit of this. I said, but this could not have possibly been more bloated. I was like, this was just the most bloated shit I've ever read. And he has all these...
Dude, you're saying that, and it did. It got so much more bloated. It got 10 more years publication life most of it.
Oh my God.
We made this joke constantly when we were reviewing like the last year or so of it.
Mm-hmm.
Chijo was a guest star in his own comic.
Can I just say that is a funny problem that Japan seems to have with main characters anyway, where eventually they become too cool for the comic.
Yeah.
And so they are guest starring in their own comic. Even in One Piece.
Luffy's still pretty much always there.
He's always in there, but it's like he is big guns.
And this is the great thing about Hero Academia, because although Midoriya is the main character of that series, he's not the center of everything. You could basically take any character of the main 20-character cast and interchange them, and they would have their own storylines.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of why it works.
It's just funny. It's a problem I see over and over and over with stuff that comes from over there. Even in like video games, like Devil May Cry. Eventually, they just had to like afraid to put Dante in the game. Like,
only Virgil.
Here's Nero. It's like, guys, your main character should always have a challenge. Like, just give him a challenge. That's what people want. So
that's kind of the problem Dragon Ball Super has right now. It's not that Goku isn't the main character. It's that he's so powerful now, you don't want him fighting anything. It's ridiculous. The power
broken.
The power creep in Dragon Ball was bad already, but Super's power creep has gotten way worse. And there is an elegant solution to it, but the showrunners would never do it because it would require like really changing the status quo, and that's not going to happen.
Just do the One Punch Man crossover already and kill everyone else. It's fine.
Yes.
Clean slate.
Now, there's a character who's guest starring in his own comic right now, but that's the joke.
Yeah, what's sad is I never would have ever... I mean, that's the comic. Like, it's like, that's the whole thing. It's like he can't really fight. Like, he's going to win in One Punch, so... I always kind of assumed that's where One Punch Man had to live anyway.
Was to be the punchline and everybody else, the drama is all about everyone else.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't that basically just some of his most recent appearance? Like everybody was doing something and he sits on a toilet the entire chapter.
Yep.
That's basically it.
Yeah. And again, it's kind of like, well, I mean, it's the comic you're reading, so.
I think the joke is he's actually probably one of the worst heroes ever. He's real bad at it because he's bored all the time.
It's a comedy series.
Looks at his job.
It's a comedy series, so it's fine.
It's hilarious. I do love it.
So you're.
Tell you what I've kind of fallen out of love with.
Mm-hmm.
Saga.
Oh really?
Saga number 42.
Oh Jesus!
Pissed me off so much.
Oh, the latest issue. I have not read the latest issue. Okay.
Oh, I hated it. Hated it so much.
Hated the story. I guess we won't be spoilery, but hated the story as in hated the events, or it just wasn't good?
No, just number 42 was... The rest of the story arc I've loved. Like, I loved this whole thing on Fang with the
Even what happened to Isabella?
I kind of acknowledged that was going to happen sooner or later, so
Okay.
I lived with that. It's fine. I got on with it. It hurt. But number 42 was just the most mean-spirited comic I've read in a long time. It's just it's just nasty. It was mean-spirited is the only thing I can describe it as. It was just genuinely unpleasant to read. I'm not sure
I know the cliffhanger of 41 had a lot of implications.
Yeah, but 41's cliffhanger it doesn't have much bearing on what happens in 42.
Oh, okay.
What happens in 42 is it's a series of events that are just incredibly unpleasant in many ways. I won't spoil it for you, but it wasn't my favorite.
To me as a reader,
in a lot of ways.
To me as a reader, when bad shit happens, you just have to accept that it's just a bad thing. Like, it might be unpleasant, but it's like, well, fuck, and you just got to roll with it.
Is it mostly about the Will and what's her name?
Oh well, yeah, that happens in like one scene, and that's kind of bad as well. But
okay, I gotta read this issue.
Yeah, you gotta read it because that's not the worst thing that happens in that issue. It's unpleasant reading.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can't go into it anymore. My God.
I'll tell you a story. It's not a long story. It's that for years, me and Brian K. Vaughan have had a really rocky relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I read Why the Last Man until about issue 20, until like the Safe Word arc, and that sort of really put me off the book, and so I stopped reading it. Then I read Ex Machina. I got to the second arc. Something about that second arc didn't sit with me. Dropped it like a rock. So after that, I kind of stopped reading his work. I never really read Runaways. I never really read, I think he had another one somewhere in there. Although I did kind of like Pride of Baghdad, that one-shot graphic novel about the lions.
I've heard that's good, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I decided to give him another shot with Saga, and I've definitely made it farther than I have previously. So I guess I'm waiting for that shoe to drop when I just get pissed at him again.
Is he Paper Girls guy?
Oh, he is. Paper Girls is good.
So you're still liking that?
Is good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still digging Paper Girls.
Okay.
New arc just dropped this week. I have to read it.
He's off my radar, like, almost completely. I haven't read shit he's done, and I read Paper Girls and didn't dig it. So it's one of those things where it's like, whenever people are like, oh my gosh, this and that, with him, I just have no frame of reference. I'm like, well, okay. Sure.
Did you try Curse Words?
Oh, dude, it's sitting here in my stack. I haven't read it yet.
All right, I haven't bought it. I'm still, kind of waiting for your opinion.
Oh, I will be sure to let you know. It's actually like I purchased it. It's just been purely hectic for me, but I purchased it and it's sitting here waiting to be read. I kind of wish that I had gotten the variant with the gold foil cover, only because that's funny.
Okay.
But my comic store is charging $13 for it, and I just don't want to pay that.
It was probably you had to order like 10 or 12 to get it.
Right.
That's oftentimes the way that works. So to make up the cost of buying books that won't sell, they charge it extra.
It looks super cool. I did buy it. I haven't read it yet, but I'll be sure to let you know how it shakes out. A comic.
Have you read Monstrous?
No. What's that?
Monstrous is good.
It's a really pretty looking one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very manga inspired in a lot of respects.
That's got really lavish art, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Okay.
All right.
Is it painterly? Way through? I know the covers are.
I wouldn't call it painterly. I mean, I guess it's got a watercolor look to it. Yeah, I guess you'd call it painterly. I see the lines, the line work, and when I see a lot of lines, I don't call it painted.
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
It's the way I sort of categorize.
It's kind of like what's his name? Sejik, the Sunstone guy. What's his name?
Sunstone.
Oh, he also did Witchblade a little bit. I'm trying to remember his name.
Silvestri or
no, it's Christ, it doesn't matter. If you can't remember him from those, you're probably not going to know him. But I get what you're talking about. It's digital, but it's not painted.
I'm looking at the art right now. Yeah, I get what you mean. You can see the lines, but yeah, it's incredibly lavish. You know what this is? Oh my gosh, bros. This is Korean comics.
Okay,
This is how Korean comics look.
I can see that.
Yeah, Korean comics are always like super detailed and lavish and beautiful. I bought an adaptation of Shaolin Soccer.
Actually, I'm willing to believe that the creators are Korean. Actually, now that you say that,
Well,
That's likely.
they definitely have Southeast Asian names.
there you go. It's funny because this has all the visual watermarks of a Korean comic. That's no insult at all. Those are some fucking beautiful comics. Like I said, it's hilarious because I bought the comic adaptation of Shaolin Soccer. And again, if you know that movie, you know it's just a dumb comedy. It's just for laughs. They could not have dropped any more detail and like lavish like attention to the rendering on that book if they tried to. It was such a beautiful book. I was like, "Ooh, Korea.
Oh yeah, they know how to make their stuff over there.
Good job."
It's like the Frenchies.
What else?
I read Animosity.
Animosity.
Have you guys not read Animosity?
And
No, that's a new one to me.
Animosity is having a bit of a rush. It's doing really good. It's from a company that's not super known. It's Aftershock.
Oh, right. Aftershock's been getting a push on Comixology lately.
Well,
Oh, right. This is the one where the animals start talking.
animals start talking, right? Real good concept.
Oh yeah, that one.
And the funny thing about Animosity is that I can totally recommend it. I can 100% say, get it. I'm sure you'll like it. And it's got a trade coming out. So I think that that's a real good way to jump in on it. Here's the problem, and it does have a problem that I want to warn you about before you jump in. Writing's on point, coloring's on point, art is not 100% on point. There's instances of ooginess.
Mhm.
So
some traced backgrounds. That's usually a good indicator
it's
of ooginess.
well, here's what's weird. I can actually put a fine point on it. It has moments of brilliance, like the lead is a dog, and to make an animal look both realistic and really expressive is a huge artistic challenge, and yet this artist does it no sweat. Oddly enough, though, there's just some weird, like unfinished at times looking panels, and where like the colorist is doing more heavy lifting than he can, and like it can't hide the fact that there's just not a lot going on. And then in issue 4, the art actually created confusion. Like as I was reading, it was confusing just because of the way it was drawn and rendered and stuff.
Okay.
So issue 4 was the only time when I'd say the art was like a problem. Otherwise, 1 through 3, you're not going to like be falling all over yourself, but it's good enough. It looks pretty good. Issue 4, it was just like, woo, what the hell happened? Like, this is confusing even. So I give it a solid like 3.5 stars. Like, check it out of 5. Like, check it out.
I was about to say 3.5 out of 10. Fucking hell.
Solid 3.5 out of 10. Real good. No, yeah. No, I definitely think it's worth your time, if only because 1 through 3 are really, really good. 4 kind of drops the ball a little bit, but it could recover. 4 does some real good setup, so it could still get like back to awesome. That's my only nit to pick with it, is that the art can be real dodgy, but the pacing is the bomb, and the writing is pretty interesting, and there's just tons of good stories they could tell. So, Animosity. I recommend that.
Okay.
Real proud of myself. I usually don't get to have a new comic recommendation you guys haven't heard of.
Yeah,
that's pretty new. What was
I
the
guess
picture be?
Aftershock's not super new. I remember the Super Zero comic getting pushed early. I guess they're just expanding recently.
Yeah, they're kind of blowing up. I think off of Animosity, that's the bigger title of their titles.
I can see that.
And I think the writer, I've not read her stuff, but the writer has written a lot of, I'm told, a lot of other things that are good. So there you have it.
Well, that's actually easy for me to check. Just click your name, and let's see what comes up. She wrote A-Force. Okay. And Batgirl. And Batwoman. And Detective Comics. That's where I know her from. Was from the Detective Comics Rebirth reboot.
Rebirth reboot.
Well,
All the same
the
thing.
numbering relaunch.
And Doom Patrol is real good.
Oh, is she writing Doom Patrol?
No, it's just unrelatedly I wanted to say Doom Patrol is worth your time.
I think I'm only 2 issues into that. It's definitely one of the better of the young animal.
I'm not reading the rest of them, but I can vouch for Doom Patrol. That shit is good. Yeah. Doom Patrol is great. Isn't Nick Darrington, doesn't he have Savage Dragon background? I would think.
Maybe.
I feel like, but yeah, I feel like he did some backups.
I don't see anything here. He did Catwoman as the only other art credit, or the only other credit at all he's got.
Yeah, in that the art is good, the story is good, the coloring is amazing. Like Doom Patrol is like 5 out of 5. Like I
tried Cave Carlson. I didn't really like the first issue.
What about Shade, the changing girl?
First issue didn't do anything for me there either.
Okay.
What was the other one? I thought there were 4.
That is a thing that they're trying to do now, where they'll have a tentpole title with a big name on it that's just quality, and then they'll try to launch 3 or 4 satellite books with it.
Yeah, that's not that unusual.
It's not that successful either.
It's tough.
I kind of knew that Doom Patrol was going to be gold, and the other things were going to be bronze.
And stuff like that's been happening since New Universe.
Ugh.
Well, you don't like Jim Shooter?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I didn't read it, but I'm just saying, it's kind of it seems like a sales tactic. I don't like it.
It very much is a sales tactic.
I don't like it. Just make good books.
I mean,
if you have a really killer Doom Patrol book in mind, we don't need Shade and all this stuff unless you're going to bring it.
Oh, I'm sure they're bringing it. It wasn't for me.
Oh,
because the quality was there. It's just the story didn't click.
Oh, okay. So the visuals and stuff were good. You just didn't.
Oh yeah, the art was fantastic.
Oh,
but that's not enough for me.
That's different. Okay.
Yeah, and Cave Carlson's drawn by frickin' Omeg.
Oh well, good lord. That's gonna.
Omeg's good.
Yeah. That's gonna be beautiful.
Actually, I think Gerald Way's writing that too. He's the guy who's on Doom Patrol.
Oh well, he's a good writer. Well, maybe I should check that out.
Actually, before I just start blatting stuff out like that, let me double check that, because I was wrong about something. I talked about this these young animal books before. Like I said, Gerald Hernandez was writing one of them. That was incorrect. He was writing a backup in one of them.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say when you said that, I actually did go looking for the Hernandez brother book.
Right.
And I was like, Jim's a liar.
Yeah, but yeah, there's backups in each of these,
and
so they get double. Basically, Comixology doesn't do a very good job of breaking down credits, so they just put both names on it.
Ooh, okay.
So it's a little bit dicey if you don't look
all right
closely.
So, too long, don't read, you're a liar.
Mm-hmm. No, Gerald Way is writing Cave Carlson directly. Yep.
Well, I'm glad...
Tom Scioli has a backup in Cave Carlson #4.
You know what I want to know is what is his DC project that he keeps posting art about where it's just
He has a DC project?
Pure insanity. I mean, it looks amazing, but I would I guess that's I think it's a backup in another book, and I don't want to buy a book just for his backup.
Is it? No, wait. Nope, not that. I don't see a DC book he's working on right now.
See, and that's what's sad. I guess he is tucked in the back. It's all over his Facebook. He's been posting panels of crazy shit. You remember the old Batman where every Joker vehicle had a face?
Yeah.
A Joker face on it. He posted a panel of an army of vehicles, a tank, a helicopter, a car. Yeah, yeah. And then like even just today, he put a picture of like a really old Billy Batson turning into Shazam. And like he's working on something super wacky DC project, but like
That sounds like.
He's got a webcomic as well now, hasn't he?
Well, he's had webcomics. He did American Barbarian and was it called Satan?
That was going to be a Supreme book, but they didn't want to do it, so he made it his own thing.
Oh.
Yeah, the Satan, the Satan Superman.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think there was one more, but maybe not because he went to do Transformers G.I. Joe after that.
Yes. I didn't know. Is he doing a webcomic currently?
Yeah, he's doing something called Princess.
Oh.
Cool. I know Jim Rugg is bringing Street Angel to Image, and that's cool as shit.
I don't know Street Angel.
Street Angel is cool. It's just like a vigilante, like, kid who, like, fights ninjas and shit. You would dig it. You would dig it. And plus, it's Jim Rugg, so the art's the fucking bomb. You can read it for free. It's a webcomic. But it's...
Speaking of webcomics, have you read... Zach, the one you recommended me.
Oh, Shattered Starlight?
Shattered Starlight.
That's bloody good.
No, I haven't.
It's about magical girls who are way over the hill.
That's a great elevator pitch.
It's basically what it is as well. It's awesome.
Shattered Starlight comic. Okay. Well, that's on my
Oh, you know what? American Barbarian just updated the RSS feed. Maybe it just started. Page 1. This appears to be brand new, this Princess series. Because the last time he updated this website was April 7th, 2014.
Oh, it's been a while.
So Princess is part of American Barbarian or something else?
I think it's brand new.
All right, cool. Down. You know I'm super down.
I don't see an obvious reference. So we'll see if it's something wholly original or if it's a send up something else. Looks cool.
Wholly original. Now he does tend to.
Maybe it's a bit Star Wars. You know what? I bet it's like Princess Leia send up.
Well, the timing's right.
Actually, speaking about Star Wars, Raven, what did you make of Rogue One?
You know what? My opinion on Rogue One will have you.
It's the same as his corporate comics opinion.
Furious.
Oh, really?
He has given up on Disney.
You'll be furious with me. No, I just.
No, it's cool.
I don't like. Basically, here's what's sad is. I just don't like. Choices that led to the creation of that movie. And so everybody, they're selling me on it. They're like, it's an amazing movie. It's got amazing visuals and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. But like, we're not short on amazing movies with amazing visuals anymore.
Are we?
There's tons.
I mean, there are. But name ones that aren't like superhero movies or tentpole franchise movies.
Like, what about that Valeria and the Million Planets or whatever? Like, that's coming.
Yeah, but nobody outside of really hardcore comic fans are going to know what Valeria is.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically being sold on being like Fifth Element 2.
Well, I guess that's what I'm saying is that you don't have to go. I don't like to say, oh, it's crazy space battles. It's like, I need more.
Well, that's not really. I mean, that's there. That's in the third act. I mean, those look great for Star Wars, but that's not really what the appeal of the movie is.
All right, nitty gritty. Here it goes.
It's about just scrap. It's about a bunch of scrappy rebels being scrappy rebels, which honestly we don't get enough in the actual Star Wars movies. Because we're usually dealing with the Skywalkers and their shit.
I guess if I needed that in my life is the problem. Like, I just don't need that. Like, I don't really care about scrappy rebels. I really super duper don't give a shit about trying to explain away why the Death Star had a vent. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. I really super.
You could only make that shot if you were a magic space wizard.
It's the power of love.
You know, again, it blows my mind that more people don't not like that. Like, I get like a lot of like the whole response is positive. I've seen just a little bit of people I mean, I'm in the minority. I know.
I'm not a big fan of it because it's one of those things that didn't need explaining.
Yeah, bingo. And I'll tell you, the thing is,
It's the Force all the way down. The Force did it.
my thing is, it just cracks me up. One of the reasons why corporate comics like don't appeal to me is that I feel like it's just tag team storytelling, and eventually,
That's movies, though. All movies are written by committee at the end of the day.
yeah, but I'm saying that like
Unless you've got Guillermo del Toro.
Even he has writers.
True.
you just
And probably and gets rewritten by producers
okay,
sometimes.
like we don't need a Pulp Fiction prequel explaining what was in the suitcase.
Oh,
It nearly happened, though.
wait. You mean Reservoir Dogs?
Or no, Pulp Fiction. You know the suitcase, the golden.
That's also in Reservoir. Well, no, wait. The theory is the diamonds from Reservoir Dogs are in it. Right? Okay,
Yeah,
that's a fan theory.
Fan theory.
There's also the fact that it was supposed to be a Vega Brother prequel film, but it never happened.
Again, it's better to not know. Like it's kind of like that exhaust vent. It just makes sense that a super fortress would have a weakness.
So you're just not super interested in prequels.
I don't give a super shit about a prequel, but here's the thing: I'm not gonna just shit on prequels. If you're gonna do a prequel, if you're gonna go into the past before an event, you just better make it good. Like, and that's to me, it's like,
But Rogue One was good.
but that's not good.
It was the best Blake Seven movie.
It is.
To me.
It is. Oh no, wait. Guardians of the Galaxy is the best Farscape movie.
Basically.
To me, it's like we don't need like a thing about we got to get these blueprints to these Star Wars heroes that you know and love. It's like who gives a shit? Like
a Star Wars hero we know and love.
Yeah, Leia. Everything's been ruined for me, so you can say whatever you want. But like, I mean, it's been completely spoiled. To me, what I'm still waiting on.
You didn't like Zombie Tarkin?
I super hated that. Everybody was,
Jar Jar Tarkin.
Everybody was like, his family liked it. His family was pushing for it, and he would have liked it. And I'm like, it's one thing for you to say he would have liked it, but he's dead. We don't know if he would have liked it.
It's just a likeness. I mean, he still had another actor doing the voice and the motion capture. It's still another actor with a job.
I've heard the sales pitch that it's digital makeup, and I'm like, you know what? Write another fucking story. Like, write another story. Like, to me, it's like, man, you know, it's just a shame that Carrie Fisher died because, you know, we had all these Princess Leia stories.
Throw Star Wars away.
Well, it's just, I know that I, like, get beat up on this all this time, but to me, the thing that matters, like, I always use this example. Why is pro wrestling better than corporate comics? It
isn't. They're both awful.
There's one reason why it is.
They're not readily available in the UK?
Because only Vince McMahon can write it and direct it.
It's a finite nature. Like, there's only so many Macho Man matches and they're done.
They try really hard.
They try, but they
would put CG actors in the ring if they could.
Oh, listen, but that's what I'm saying. It's greedy and weird and gross. Like, if they had their choice, they would just keep them all, like, just stuff robots in their corpses and keep the show going forever. But the beauty of it is that The Rock only has so many wrestling cameos in him. Stone Cold only has so many wrestling cameos in him. And then it's done. No more Stone Cold, no more The Rock. Like,
when they're dead and in the ground.
And they're dead in the ground, and it's like, you can still go back and, like, appreciate their craft and the matches they had and their merchandise.
Are you telling me the Usos are not the Rikishi and the other guy?
To me, that's what I like.
Head shrinkers.
I like things that aren't just like to me, the Star Wars like my buddy who was talking to me, he's like, it's just a really good movie, Rogue One. He's like, it's just a really good war movie. Like, you're just cheating yourself.
So your hang up is specifically the usage of what's his name? Tarkin.
My problem is this. I was super fucking jazzed for Rogue One.
Right.
Like, even over Episode 7.
I was as well.
Because for me, Episode 7 was way too familiar and way too safe. And so what had me super fucking jazzed was here was this new and like side story, and we were going to get to
Right.
see like this
Star Wars Gaiden.
Exactly, just a
Yeah.
project that you don't normally get to see, and it's not numbered, and it's a
And
spin-off.
you don't got any fucking space wizards.
But they
That was the best bit.
They had to nostalgia it up. They had to shove in a bunch of fucking here's Darth Vader. And
There was only one shoved in reference that I thought was too jarring, and that was fucking who got his arm chopped off in New Hope. That was the most pointless reference.
like, to me, it's like you don't need Darth Vader and you don't need Princess Leia.
But you do need Darth Vader because Darth Vader is high up in the Emperor hierarchy.
And you needed Tarkin because he
And
was the one
Tarkin's
in
the
charge of the Death
boss.
Star.
He's the boss.
just
He's
had,
right below the Emperor.
just there was a million solutions to that problem, and they chose the oogiest, grossest one. Like,
I don't think it's that gross.
I wasn't bothered by it particularly.
I was bothered by how shitty the CG is, not that they were trying to do it. Because the other option is to get an actor and stick shit on his face to make him look like.
the other option is to just have story-based allusions to his presence. You don't have to have him in there. You can have it be like, this guy can be like, get these documents to General Tarkin. You fool! And then, like, it's like, oh, it's Tarkin. He's getting them to Tarkin. And it's like, there you go. You don't have to have a fucking actor with CG makeup on. Like, it's so...
Peter Cushing. It's Peter Cushing. I should know that name. He's like the most important actor of all time.
Isn't it Cushing?
Yes, sorry. I mispronounced it in my head.
But that's my whole thing. Again, it's why I was actually in the comic shop just today, and the guy was talking about how the writer of something did a killer X-Force run, and I was like, that is the problem, is that I love those characters. I mean, it would be cool. I don't have a problem with it to like get attached to it, and then someone else just comes along and changes everything. Like this whole thing with young Han Solo and young Billy D. Williams. Do we need that? God damn.
We don't need young Han Solo, but what we do need is we need a solo bounty hunter movie. We need that.
What we need is an explanation of why was Lando wearing Han's clothes at the end of Empire.
My thing,
Look, I'm not
they were
up for
his
king
clothes the
shaming
whole
if that's
time.
reason to.
with Star Wars, I always say this. What if Star Wars had been the Flash Gordon movie it was meant to be?
Then you'd get the Star Wars Dark Horse,
Which was a really good series.
was a good book.
So I'm just saying, though.
Well,
like,
no, it wasn't a good book. It was original Star Wars. I'd say it was a lot more like Dune.
He went on to make his own thing, and the world was forever changed and better. I love Star Wars. I think it was awesome that we didn't have a fucking Flash Gordon movie. We got Star Wars. So I'm saying, instead of shoveling more fucking Star Wars down our throat, just fucking
More Flash Gordon. Shove more Flash Gordon down our throat.
just
But
make.
this is the thing, is I wouldn't mind a Flash Gordon remake. Nobody
They've done it so many times.
Well,
Flash Gordon's a hard sell. He's really not very suited for the modern era.
but I was watching something about a media the other week saying they never remake bad movies, they only remake good ones.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Gotta remake those bad ones. There's room for improvement, big time.
Yeah. That's been your stance for a while, right, Raven? Remake the bad movies?
I agree. Yeah, I totally agree with that. If you're gonna do a remake, I want to see Hell Comes to Frogtown. I don't want to see a new.
No, Hell Comes to Frogtown's a classic. How dare you?
How dare you, sir? I used to watch that every weekend afternoon on Channel 11. Man, that needs a Blu-ray release now.
Just
It has one?
Not in North America.
Oh, I thought you guys had it at the same time as us.
Dude, yours is exclusive to your region right now.
God damn it. It might be region free.
I think it's Arrow, so I don't think so.
This is the weird thing. Arrow used to be region free, and then things got really complicated rights-wise.
Yeah.
So, meh.
I think it's because they started publishing discs in North America, so
Yes.
once you start doing that, you have to separate the regions.
It's like you guys got Arrow releasing Chud, and
Right.
we can't get Chud over here for whatever reason.
Really?
It's like,
no.
we don't have it at all.
Oh,
I still got to watch Dead End Drive-In. I've been sitting on it.
Such a good movie.
Okay, Raven,
Talking
complete your
about bad movies that need remaking, but it is going to get a remake. King Kong vs. Godzilla is a terrible movie, so I'm glad that's getting remade.
agreed. That's what I'm saying. Like, if there's room for crazy improvement, please remake it. Fucking, I can't wait for the new King Kong versus Godzilla.
Well, I got to see how King Kong is going to be first.
I'm okay.
I think it looks good.
I think it looks interesting. I don't like John C. Reilly's character, but
Yeah,
whatever.
he was kind of a jarring tonal shift in that second trailer.
It's Marvel's success. Marvel's success has made every movie has to be a comedy because Hollywood is dumb and all they can...
It's not really Marvel that did that. I mean, maybe they popularized it, but I think it was Firefly that did that.
Yeah.
Where
It's the Whedon syndrome.
Right, everyone's got to have witty banner.
100 million like wisecracking bastards all in the same scene.
Yeah, Buffy did it.
Yeah, it's funny. Every character in Buffy was a wisecracker, and it's like, where's your serious guy? I don't know. It's fine.
You don't need no straight man. That's why Captain America can't get over, because he's playing a straight man in a wisecracker's world.
But
I get that reference.
It's one of those. It's one of those things where I'm just like, there you go. Like, King Kong and Godzilla is a fantastic example. I am super fucking down for King Kong and Godzilla. Can't wait.
I will say this: they solved the size problem with this new King Kong trailers. He's definitely much larger than he's ever been.
It's
King
awesome.
Kong.
It looks great. I can't wait.
Unfortunately, it doesn't make a lot of sense. At least with Godzilla, you can say, "Oh, he's nuclear powered. He can be that big," but King Kong's a mammal.
He's just a damn dirty ape.
I'm real curious to see how much they worry about that.
Probably not at all.
I'm going to hope not at all, but we'll see. Hollywood almost can't help themselves these days.
Well, the stinger at the end of Skull Island has to be Godzilla related.
Oh, it has to be. I agree.
Or Pacific Rim.
Or Rodan. It's going to be Rodan.
Yes, Rodan.
Jim, you started a question?
King Kong is an alien. He's been the whole time.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that's it.
That's where he comes from.
It's just going to get ridiculous.
He's their god.
I just kind of wonder what King Kong versus Godzilla is going to be as a movie. Because you can't just have them fight for 2 hours. I mean, you can, but it's expensive.
Oh, try me.
Please. I'm just saying, please, don't.
Honestly, it'll probably wind up being they fight, they'll fight in the first act. The humans will try to deal with it in the second, and then they'll have to team up to fight more monsters in this third act.
Probably that is the safest bet.
Yeah.
That way neither guy is the bad guy, and you get to keep having franchises.
Which does bring up the point, who will be the third or fourth monster?
Probably some fucking lame...
Gamera, please!
Fucking Cloverfield, Motu.
Gamera, please? Wouldn't it be awesome if they kept Gamera a secret and he just turns up at the end?
Ultraman, that's it.
That would be the bomb.
Actually,
but Ultraman's always the good guy.
Yeah.
Even when he brutally murders the monsters.
No.
I just like the idea that Pacific Rim might tie into it someday as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will.
Because they'll take the Ultraman role in the 3-person team up.
I thought the monster from Godzilla looked too Pacific Rim-y or Cloverfield-y. I mean...
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I made this joke about the second King Kong trailer. Those monsters that come out of the ground that King Kong fights, they're very Cloverfield-esque.
They are.
My joke was that it's King Kong versus the Cloverfield monster.
So why is it that Hollywood, that's their big monster?
That is kind of weird, isn't it? The gangly, skin-colored ape face.
Yeah. You look at Japanese kaiju, and they're all tentacles and bat wings and fucking wacky shit.
3 heads and no arms.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Pacific Rim was okay, because there was loads of variety there.
And they weren't in the monsters that weren't very interesting. They weren't the focus, because they were disposable. No. There were so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't.
Most of them died.
Yeah, they all died. But yeah,
man, I gotta rewatch that someday.
Pacific Rim, I've watched it twice, and both times I've come to the same conclusion. It's not a very good movie.
No,
It's very flashy. The designs are pretty fun. The ideas are really good, but it does two major things wrong. What are the two things? It does the stuff with Ron Perlman is pointless and boring.
Oh yeah.
While it's trying to be funny.
How dare ye?
Yeah.
It's Ron Perlman.
The two scientists,
Charlie.
those guys are the worst part of that movie.
They are horrible.
They scream a lot. They run around. The comedy duo just doesn't work.
Not good at all.
And the second problem with that movie is they damsel the most interesting character in that movie twice.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
she should have been a badass. She should have been the main character, and they fucking made her a helpless damsel in distress in the end.
Yes. I agree with that one.
I really hope the second movie does better because the main character is not coming back.
Good.
They got Star Wars guy the main character.
I think it's a prequel.
Oh
Maybe.
God.
No, it can't be because what's his name from Star Wars? He is Ibn Albus's son.
Could be. The only thing is it can't be the same one because that's the entire thing. It's like Pacific Rim was supposed to be self-contained, so there's no more kaiju. So what would the Jaegers do?
That doesn't mean a new portal can't open up.
Yeah, okay.
Our world is under siege by this other dimension, so at some point they'll restart their offense. At least that's my working understanding.
They should go to the kaiju dimension. That should be the movie.
You know, that makes the most sense. Take the fight to the enemy.
Take the fight to the enemy. Because, like you said, what if those portals just
to England?
What if those portals just keep opening up? You got to fix that. Got to get in there and kill those monsters.
Yeah. First they tried one portal. Now, how do you close 3 portals at once? You got to take the fight back to them. Maybe they'll put the portal on the dark side of the moon. They'll come from space. There's like so many interesting things Pacific Rim can do.
It's good. I hope the sequels get better. I'm with you. I didn't think the first one was so good. Like I liked it because of it's just giant monsters.
Right. Whenever the Jaegers are punching monsters, things are good.
Oh yeah. But
whenever they're trying to do character arcs and plot, not so much.
Yeah, almost everything that wasn't giant monster fighting just made me want to kill myself. I was like, ooh, this is not good. Not good at all.
So, I think we should wrap things up. It must be getting late for you, Zach. It must be after midnight.
It's nearly 1 in the morning. Yeah, jeez.
Woo! Yeah. Well,
that's cool. I'm cool. Caffeine.
We appreciated you joining us and pinch hitting for Craig. Super appreciated. We always like to have you on the show.
Cool. Always glad. Always happy to talk about Dragon.
And thanks for all the other hanging in there tough and doing the extra innings on the bullshit session.
No, I'm glad to do that. Glad to talk about, just get in about that kind of guff.
No, we love it. We love it. Well, Jim?
Yep.
Zach?
Good having you on, Zach. Good talking to you, Raven.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, gentlemen. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Speak to you later, guys.